showcase of the best players in the NFL is coming up as Las Vegas welcomes the Pro Bowl for the first time. The stars of the AFC and NFC are shine. Next, sports.
It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. It is always exciting to see the very best, the NFL, all in one place. And we have that here this afternoon as we to Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brett Ball. You never really know what to. I guess I'll ask you what to expect.
Well, in recent years, into an absolute offensive explosion, hasn't it? Games in the 50s are out of line. What you're hoping is that some of these great defenders have to react, arrow that down a little bit. But I will say, this game is tilted heavily towards the offense's advantage.
Get ready to settle in for an entertaining 4 quarters. The AFC-NFC Pro Bowl underway from Las Vegas. Cordero Patterson to return it, bringing it out of the end zone. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped it to 14. So out comes the offense now with a long field ahead of him. They'll be led out by the former Cal Bear, Aaron Rodgers.
There have been very few quarterbacks in the NFL who have been as consistent throughout their career as Aaron Rodgers. He's been good for so long, and we've seen no decline in his skills. His accuracy and arm strength continue to elevate the talent around him, and his in-game mistakes, few and far between.
There's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Throwing now is Rodgers. They're looking for Jefferson, but this is intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And he is going to score. It's a pick 6 and an AFC touchdown.
I have to believe that in a Pro Bowl situation, we talk about these defensive backs during the season, that they're educated gamblers. They take the education out of it. They just go for the football here. Hey, try and make a big play, and if you get one, you really look terrific in this game.
Justin Tucker for the extra point. And he's got it to make it 7-0 AFC. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. No return here for Patterson, so they'll begin things at the 25-yard line. Aaron Rodgers, he's getting ready to go again here on offense. And looking to erase his memory bank from his opening drive a moment ago that ended in a pick-6 for the first points of the ball game.
And in my experience, a lot of quarterbacks, after throwing a pick-6, the first thing they want to do is fire another and get those points back immediately. But what really helps you get back in sync is a good, long, methodical drive, mixing the run and the pass, tamp things down a little bit.
Now Rodgers to try again after the pick-6. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. So a pretty early first quarter roughing the passer penalty.
Seems like the officials are going to let everyone know they're taking charge of this game. They're always going to protect the quarterback.
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. That's caught inside the 20. And he's able to get this way down deep into enemy territory. Play that time for the NFC.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a full situation. They'll run with Cook. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. Rodgers going to throw. This is caught. 5 yards that time on the completion, and now it's 3rd and goal. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
A big play to start the drive got him in this position, but this defense has held firm since, and now it's 3rd and goal. To throw, it's Rodgers. And that's going to be caught. Touchdown NFC. T.J. Hockenson there to make the grab. And the NFC just an extra point away from tying up this game. Well, go ahead and strap in, partner. Less than 2 minutes in, had the score on the one side. A quick answer, though, to get the equalizer.
Sometimes you get that sense of urgency that ratchets up, right? When you give up an early touchdown like that, you just know you're like, okay, how do we go back and equalize things? Can we get it done fast? And they absolutely did. Essentially, we're back to even, aren't we?
Able to connect on the extra point, and that will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Here's Roberts to bring it out of the end zone. And he will make it back to the 15, and that's it. Good coverage there by the kick team. So here comes the AFC for their opening drive. As As we get a peek at the former Red Raider and 10th pick in the 2017 draft,
And when you think of Patrick Mahomes, you start to think about all of his attributes, and you realize very quickly you can't just put him into one box. No matter how the game proceeds, no matter what is needed, he tends to have an answer for it and plays accordingly.
Mahomes in the AFC now with a 1st and 10 at their own 15. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Caught, Kelsey, left side. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled.
I know this may be jumping the gun a little bit, but 7-7, they're flinging it around like crazy. Look at the drive that's going on here. Partner, we may have to start thinking about one of these defenses just holding someone to a field goal and maybe trying to get an advantage that way.
On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Working with a 2nd and 4. Now Mahomes. Oh, this is intercepted, intended for Hill. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line.
Well, this had trouble written all over it from the start. He's got 2 extra defensive backs in the game he's got to deal with. They're in a dime set. So everywhere he's looking, he's seeing a different color jersey. And sure enough, this one winds up being intercepted.
Here now the NFC to take over on offense. The last possession, these guys tied the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
Field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 43. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. It's hard to take your eye linebacker position. He can rear some ground, and he did.
And I have to think that when this play, running back looks promising, but that feeling's super defensively to lock in on the best route to his target, and he stopped him for no gain.
2nd and 10. Give to Cook out of the gun. And forget about finding. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness. He's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He gets this to Devontae Adams. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Now we have Kelsey, slow to get back to his feet. Appears to be shaken up. We'll take and get a report from Vegas after this. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. From the gun, it's a give to Cook. And he is met at the line of scrimmage. Goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line has a case. A loss results there.
throw. It's Rodgers. And this is going to be incomplete.
Yeah, it's still early in the game. No sense taking her down and forcing one into traffic. So I like the wise play he made there. Get it to the sideline out of bounds where no one's going to have a chance at it.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good. And in this first quarter of play, this will remain a tie ball game. Was a kicker from that distance, 56, 57 yards. So many things you got to worry about, but I am a little surprised he didn't get it there.
Yeah, with the way kickers are nowadays, we're surprised anything under 65 that it doesn't get at least to the crossbar. But remember this, you have to drive it a little bit lower in order to make that distance, and you also have to be worried about the interior rush that they can get their hands on it. So the longer kickers nowadays who can pop it up in the air and still travel and carry it, that's who you're looking for.
Start 3 yards shy of midfield after that long 57-yard miss. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. To the right side, it's Kelsey. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but started. Down in 3. Running from the gun with Henry. Fighting him off. And a nice stiff arm. It opens room to run. And he will take this for an AFC touchdown. 46 for Derrick Henry. The AFC has taken the lead. Just a terrific run, Charles, from a running back who is so compact and powerful, and that strength was.
And as a former defender, I can tell you with certainty, those are the ones that have you losing sleep at night. I would not like to be in that film room on Tuesday going over that one. Effort defensible, and it leads to a big play.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. So 2 plays on that scoring drive. That's how they drew it up. And the long run into the end zone, and what a run it was. Tucker following the touchdown. Will not return it to the 20. The shop offensively. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus goal that they missed.
On their sideline, do we still have one edition again? And I would dare say it would be evidence and foremost. But if all else, less of a attempt for him.
Here's Cook again on the ground. Going to be met at the ridge and taken down. No gain, will be second down. And he got off the end there very quickly.
It was almost like the bullet, wasn't it? I mean, just quick play, holding them to no gain.
So after the run gain, here's 2nd and 10. Handoff comes to Cook. And he'll go down 30-yard line.
Well, they didn't get you to try and run it. But defense honest.
I mean, also just 6.
It goes to have back.
Tucker now for the. It's good, and he won. Into the end for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And not going to return this. It will come out to the 25. The NFC offense heading back onto the field. Up the pick 6. They'll be looking. The NFC offense heading back onto the field. Up the pick 6. field. Up the pick six. They'll be looking at the ship back. A little more. Just be field. Up the pick six. They'll be looking at the ship back. A little more.
Just be what you get. Defensive
Six. They'll be looking at the ship back. A little more.
Just be what you get. Defensive. End zone, you got to be decisive about whether you're bringing it out or not. Sometimes that indecision can really cost you. That may have been what happened on that play.
Mahomes in the AFC now with a 1st and 10 from back at their own 10-yard line. He'll start with a give to Henry. And he's taken down, but able to get this up to the 20-yard line. 66 yards rushing for him now in this first half of the Pro Bowl. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level, because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
They go play action. Now Mahomes. They're going deep for Hill. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
Here's 2nd and 10. Now here's Mahomes. Forced out to his left. And he'll slide to a halt here. Still a little shy of the 1st down marker. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder coming up here at halftime. We'll ship you off to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman will have first half highlights and analysis from a back-and-forth first half that we've seen. Henry's got it out on the left side. Uses the stiff arm. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
I like the play design there. They occupied the defense downfield. Everyone trying to account for someone. But unfortunately, they didn't account for the running back slipping out of the backfield. And he was absolutely unnoticed and wound up getting big yards on that play.
A couple of first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on 1st down. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Flush to his right. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. Now a timeout called for by the offense, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Mahomes now on 1st down. It's Kelsey on the ground. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
I tell you what, it looks like he's shaking off that pick 6 just fine. It's not just defensive backs that have to have short memories. Quarterbacks utilize that as well. A much more confident throw right there.
A first down carry for Henry. And he'll run straight into a wall of tacklers at the line of scrimmage. It's second down. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number one. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, second and 10. Looking to throw is Mahomes. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down.
Over the dime look on defense. Two extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
It's been a pretty long drive. This will be play number 9, and they need 10 yards out of it on third. To throw, it's Mahomes. Going for it all. And that is caught for an AFC touchdown. Stephon Diggs, 29 yards. And the AFC adds on to their lead.
And that's certainly an important score right there, because they gave themselves a 2-score cushion heading towards halftime. Now you got to force the other team out of their comfort zone, and it changes the way you approach the second half as well. How you want to do things on offense, and your defense feels much better too, having that lead.
I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How is the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Tucker now to add the point after. He's got it as they double up the lead. This one's now 28-14. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it ends with an AFC touchdown. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. No return here for Patterson, so they'll begin things at the 25-yard line. The NFC takes possession here late in this first half. And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range. Rodgers now on first down. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup there.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. What I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Now it's Rodgers. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's third down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
So the incomplete pass on the line, that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Rodgers now to throw. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Certainly no lack of aggressiveness here. They were hoping for the home run play to get them 6 points. They're hoping for a catch, maybe a call, but they figure they can at least get into field goal range with a completion.
Jack Fox out to punt here on 4th down. Back deep here, Andre Roberts. So possession goes over here on the punt. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The AFC offense set to take their next drive. And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Throwing now is Mahomes. This will go to Henry out wide. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. So we have hit halftime of the Pro Bowl with the AFC leading the NFC. As we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports halftime report. Coach?
Okay, right, Brandon. Thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to this slimmed-down version of the EA Sports halftime report. First, though, let's get a check on the next-gen stats from that first half for the AFC. And even though they've got the big cushion, I would imagine they'd like to see a little more out of their passing game. Pretty pedestrian numbers through 2 quarters of play. Meanwhile, for the NFC, they too found some success throwing the football. But I think both teams would say there's room for improvement in the second half.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Here's Roberts to bring it out of the end zone. And not a good return here at all, as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line. The AFC offense now set to start this third quarter. And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them, guys, if you want to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit.
Throwing on first down is Mahomes. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Mahomes now on first down. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Hill. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. At the 40-yard line. And just a yard to go here on 2nd down. A shotgun handoff to Henry. Oh, some fighting through, and he's got space. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 111 yards rushing for him now as he continues to lead the way for the AFC. Well, that is a running back who was not about to go down easily. He fought his way through the contact until the seas opened up for him.
And with a guy his size, you have to know defensively that arm tackles aren't going to fly with him. You have to be able to wrap up, or else he can just brush tacklers aside like they're not even there.
And you can see the distance traveled there after the initial contact on the next-gen stats. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Mahomes now to throw. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
On 1st down, it's Henry. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. They'll run it again with Henry. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, so it was looking good, but nothing there, and now it's 3rd down and inches. Oh, it's a nickel set here defensively on 3rd and inches.
Still want to be prepared for a pass.
Now Mahomes. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Allen. And he gets the 1st down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. Gotta say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the 1st down.
They'll try and run for it with Henry. And he will take this in for an AFC touchdown. Derrick Henry, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the AFC is able to widen their advantage.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Tucker with the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. So that drive goes 8 plays. And Derrick Henry able to finish it off with a touchdown run. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And Patterson will not return it. It comes out to the 25. Now the NFC heading out for their first drive of the 2nd half. They're down 3 touchdowns to this point, needing to put something together as they have it 1st and 10. Here's Rodgers. Throw left side complete. That's Hopkins. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Again, it's Cook. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. They lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
And the NFC punt team out there now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. 46 on his first kick, this one in that neighborhood as well. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the AFC will take over 1st and 10. Back out is the AFC offense. They're just looking to do more of the same. They were good in the first half. They've extended their lead so far here in the second half. I don't know, they're just looking good on hitting on all cylinders right now.
And sometimes that means a head coach who really has a finger on the pulse of a team may not have anything to say at all. May tell the rest of the coaches,
up a little bit.
Just back it off a little bit. This has it under control. I remember hearing about Bob Knight years ago in basketball, getting ready to give the final speech before the gold medal game in '84. And on the board, Michael Jordan had written, "Coach, after all we've been through, there's no way we're losing tonight." He didn't even give a pregame speech.
Wow, interesting. Well, right now, no speech is needed. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. They're going to look to throw. And his throw here's incomplete.
Now, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away, turns into a nice play.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Oh, a strip. The ball comes out. Offensively lucky they were able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
The AFC punt team out there now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. Now fair catch is called for and taken at the, we'll call it the 37-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And the NFC will take over 1st and 10. Here's the NFC offense set to take over again. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
someone
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Rodgers now on 1st down. Out to the left there and complete to the tight end, Hockenson. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
There's a completion to the tight end, and look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Rodgers' throw pulled in by Jefferson. And now the ball's out, fumble near midfield. And that's picked up by the AFC. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. Well, if these guys wanted to get back in this game, they needed an almost perfect second half. And down 3 scores, a lost fumble here certainly doesn't fit into that plan.
That reminds me of my plan in college to get an A on the papers I turned in, but that didn't work out too well either. Too many mistakes by both of us. I mean, that's just pure and simple. And that's why that's exactly where they are in this ball game. They're going to need a huge turnaround if they want to.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. And the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
After review of the play, ruling on the field is reversed.
So that challenge, a successful one. Ready to begin their next drive here, the NFC offense. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Good word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right. All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. To throw is Rodgers. His throw incomplete. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now Rodgers. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got a bump down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a 1st down.
We talk all the time about playing situational football. Right now, I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. It's NFC football, but they trail here as we begin the 4th quarter. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Throwing now is Rodgers. To Jefferson on the slant. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Rodgers escaping the pressure right. And that's going to be caught. Touchdown NFC. DK Metcalf there to make the grab. And the NFC able to get a bit closer. So a little bit of a letdown there defensively. I mean, look, you're still 2 scores to the good, CD, but things may be a little more uncomfortable than they had hoped.
Yeah, if you kept them out of the end zone there, this game's over. You've locked the door on them. Instead, it's still open a little bit, and they've got a puncher's chance.
Coup for the extra point. And the lead will be cut down. To 14. Following the touchdown, here's Coup to kick off. Andre Roberts now to return it. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. The AFC offense making their way back out. And it's great to see the stars all out in one place, but in terms of football, what's really great to see is a very entertaining Pro Bowl as we are tied in the 4th quarter.
And how many of these guys thought going into this game, after a pretty easy week heading into it, that the pressure would ratchet up now and someone has to make a play, which means someone will have a play made against them and not have to live with that for the rest of the year.
On first down, Mahomes. And going deep for Hill. And that is incomplete.
Well, I guess we just discovered that someone is certainly not going to sit back and just take it in this game, huh?
No, they were trying to get that touchdown back in one shot.
One shot, trying to help out his defense and let the other team know they were coming after him.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now a handoff to Henry. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from the game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to start it, and that would have been a first down. And you saw the contact on time, no penalty. Drive could get wings. It's 4th down.
FC punt team out there now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. A 40-yard punt, 1 yard on the return, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The offense for the NFC back out there. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news, but this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Rodgers going to throw. Finds his tight end Ingram. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. 4th quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to your play calling. Don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the 2nd touchdown. You got the first one for the 2nd one to even matter.
Throwing again on second down. Rodgers, throw left side, taken in by Jefferson. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call, because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on second short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the first down there, but as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
On first down, Rodgers. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target. But he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. From the gun, it's Rodgers. His throw's going to be incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy covered. So that took his attention to no avail.
The numbers for the NFC on third down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This is 3rd and 10. Shotgun now for Rodgers. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that on your side.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
So the 14 yards actually takes him from 143 to the other for 1st and 10. A give. This is Cook. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
At the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle, feel pretty close. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Now a 2nd down and 6. Throwing is Rodgers. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. He did an okay job of absorbing the hit, just couldn't secure the football through the catch.
And he was right there on the spot and forced the incompletion. That's something defenders work on all the time. If you're there, make the contact, but continue to work your way through the receiver so that you can't possess the football and turn it into a catch.
And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. That sack by Tremaine Edmonds.
Now how about that? Defensive coordinator perfectly in sync, dials up a blitz, and the man in the middle, he's the one who gets home.
Big Mike.
Big Mike.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Now Rodgers, got to have this one. He's going to look deep, end zone for Hopkins. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The NFC's decision to go for it does not pan out. And this defense will take over right at midfield. So still over 3 minutes remaining in this game, but boy, not getting that one, that hurt.
That's a little bit demoralizing, so they have to be careful about that because still have an opportunity if they can get some things done on defense. But now, since they've taken over on downs, a team with the ball, guess what? Going to 4-minute offense, maybe they can put this thing away.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10, right at the 50-yard line. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all three still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Off the option, here's Henry. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 143 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's going on.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the AFC with the football as we welcome you back. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. A pretty good-looking run there on 1st down. That'll go for 9 yards, just short of the line to gain. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1. A give to Henry. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. And the busy night for Henry continues. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Now the NFC going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Derrick Henry. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12. Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him running the football.
It's been a really long night for them, hasn't it? So they got a little bit of a win there, but let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football has carried his feet to the open spaces and to big yardage all night long.
On 3rd down, Henry. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now Justin Tucker's out to try the field goal. This to make it a 3-score game late. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And that'll push the lead up to 17. Well, he was a spectator for much of this game. This is his first field goal opportunity of the entire contest, but he's able to connect.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it, all kickers that you and I know, they want to contribute. They want their opportunity, and he seized his.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. This taken in at the goal line. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further.
Let's go. In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Here's Rodgers to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. Touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, 87 yards. And the NFC able to cut into that lead. For as big and strong as some of these guys are, especially when you see them in full pads, it is sometimes hard to appreciate how truly fast they can move. That was incredible. Coup now for the point after. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. So time definitely not in their favor. Down 2 scores, but they'll try the onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Mahomes down to a knee, and that should just about write a finish to this one. So, Charles, final thoughts on this AFC victory?
Bottom line, nobody appeared to be seriously hurt. That's the first thing we look for in this game. Well played, a lot of fun, a lot of excitement. I think that everyone's going to go home pretty happy. The AFC, since they won the game.